Lumedx Echo module, documenting and finalizing a TEE structured report. Prior to watching this training video, you should have already completed the Apollo LX navigation video training, and you should understand the following. 1. Know the different icons in Apollo LX. 2. Know how to find your patient and different modules in Apollo LX. 3. Know how to navigate through a workflow to edit or add data. The objectives of this training video are the following. 1. View and finalize the sedation report. 2. How to review the sonographer findings. 3. Documenting on the Overview TEE tab. 4. Using the wall motion. 5. Comparing a prior study. 6. The QA for IAC accreditation. And 7. View and finalize the physician structured report. To begin, go to the Lumedx CVIS folder under My Apps, and then you will click on the icon labeled Lumedx. If you are on a workstation at the hospital, this Lumedx icon will be displayed on your desktop. When the login window appears, enter your network ID and password in the username and password fields. Once you are logged into Apollo LX, go to the Echo module under the Filters pane. Click on the To Be Read filter. This will show you all patients that have studies ready to be finalized. You can sort by the interpreting group or interpreting MD, or you can simply type your name in the interpreting MD box. Double-click the patient you need to review. View and finalize the sedation report. If sedation was not administered by an anesthesiologist, the RN will complete a sedation report if she administered any sedatives. As the physician, you are responsible for reviewing the sedation report and finalizing the report. The first thing you'll want to do when you come into a TEE study is to view the report by clicking on the report icon in the toolbar. At the top of the window, you will see the sedation record with a status of pending approval. This means the nurse has signed the report and it's ready for your review. Click the View icon and the report will open in Microsoft Word. Once you have reviewed the report and agree with all the information, close Microsoft Word document by clicking the X, and then go to the drop-down under the Status column and select Final. You will be prompted for your user ID and password. Enter your network ID and password to finalize the report. Reviewing sonographer findings. Click on the Tech Findings tab to review any communication or documentation left by the sonographer prior to completing your documentation. The Overview TEE tab. The Overview TEE tab is where you will document your findings for the study. The fields that are in red font denote that these are IAC data elements. These data elements should all be completed prior to finalizing your physician report. The first thing you need to do is to ensure that your name is in the Interpreting MD field on the top of the screen. If your name is not there, click the Interpreting MD button. You can enter your last name to find your record. Highlight the row and then click the Apply button at the bottom of the screen. The top section of this tab contains the TEE specific data elements. The probe pass field will be filled in from the sedation record by the nurse. The medications and total medications grids are completed from the sedation record as well and will be completed by the nurse unless an anesthesiologist was used in the case. The rest of this tab is organized by heart structure. Each section contains drop-down boxes and check boxes for your documentation. Most measurements will transfer from the ultrasound machine. However, estimated EF will require manual entry. Please enter a value in estimated EF. The blue hyperlinks exist to give a more detailed diagnosis under each heart structure. To open the additional window, just click on the blue hyperlink. For example, if I want to comment on the septal motion of the left ventricle, I click the blue hyperlink to find the additional information. As you fill in the data on the Overview tab, you can preview what will be transferred to your report. Take note that on the aortic valve, the structure drop-down is in red. However, to mark it normal, use the checkbox and not the drop-down. All other structures should use the drop-down. If you see a yellow triangle with an exclamation point, this alerts you that there are abnormal values in a field. If you hover over the icon, you can see the normal reference ranges for this data element. Wall motion, prior studies, and QA. Click the Wall Motion tab to see the wall motion scoring diagrams available in the Echo workflow. These allow you to enter wall motion data in a graphical representation of the OR17 segment of the heart. Scoring results are numbered and color-coded and can be adjusted using the mouse. You can click the All Normal button in the upper left-hand corner of the wall motion scoring section of the screen to automatically set segment values on the entire diagram to normal. Any previous values will be overwritten. To change the value inside a single segment, you can click on the segment to increase the value of the segment by 1. Clicking on a segment with a value of X, meaning not visualized, will return it to the default value of missing. You can also right-click on a segment that will display the Set Selected menu. This menu displays all possible values for that segment with the current value checked and displayed in bold. Click a value to select it. Below the diagram is a read-only display that keeps a running total of the number of fields that have been scored as well as a total of all scores. Those two numbers are used to generate a wall motion index that is displayed on the right side of the screen. The Prior Study tab will display any prior echo studies for this patient, the date of the study, the procedure, the conclusions, and any findings associated with the event will be displayed. Be sure to enter the prior study date at the top of the screen as well as the comparison results and any comments in the free text box. To see a specific example of how to do this, watch this prior studies section of the Lumedx Echo Stress video. The QA tab is for IAC review of studies. This will primarily be used by the medical director of the lab for IAC accreditation. Finalizing the physician report. As you are documenting your findings on the Overview tab, you will see the data that is populated in the preview window of the report on the left-hand side of your screen. Always change any data on the data entry form and not the preview window. To move any statements to the conclusion section of the report, you can simply right-click on any sentence and select Copy to Conclusions. You can also change the order of any of the items in the conclusion section by clicking on the black arrow on the left-hand side and moving it up or down. Once you are ready to finalize the report, click Save, and then click on the Reports icon in the toolbar. Find the report that you wish to generate. In this case, I am going to select the TEE Echo report. Once I generate the report, I can view it at the top by clicking on the View icon. Once I have finished reviewing the report and I agree with all of the information, I will close the Microsoft Word document by clicking on the X. Once you are ready to finalize the report, click the drop-down box under the Status column and select Final. You will be prompted for your network ID and password. This will finalize the report. As a tip, never enter any data in the Microsoft Word document. Data entered here is not saved to the database and will not appear in the final physician report. Once the report is finalized, you can no longer edit the report. You will need to create an amended report. Please watch the video Lumedx Amending Physician Reports.